What's good, world? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about my first PC build ever. So first and foremost, this isn't going to be a super technical video going over benchmarks and frames per second and all the really impressive things that this machine can do. I had a lot of concerns going into this. A lot of people wonder, am I going to waste my investment? Am I going to break something? They say it's easy, but is it really easy? I'm not very technical. How can I build my first PC without messing up? But with the help of some amazing videos that gave me step-by-step instructions that I'll link down below in the description, I was able to make my first ever PC. So highlighting some of the key components in this PC that I chose to go with, for one, the GPU being the GTX 1080. So this is definitely a step below from the 1080 Ti, but I didn't need anything that was good for 4K gaming, being that my monitor is only 1440p. I wanted to be able to play something that's stable, really good frames per second in 1440p and ultra settings, and I can do that on pretty much any game that I throw at this machine, from Rust to PUBG, Wolfenstein 2. There's a few other games that I have on this PC, but all the games I can play on max ultra settings, and I'm able to clear well past 60 frames per second in every title, which is more than I can say coming from console, whereas most of those games are locked to 30 frames per second. Being able to play any game that I want in ultra settings at uncapped frames per second is something that is mind-blowing, and if you consider yourself a gamer, I definitely recommend getting into PC gaming sooner than later. For the motherboard, I decided to go with the MSI Gaming Pro Carbon AC motherboard. For one, because it gives me the ability to run GPUs in SLI, so that way if I decide to get another 1080 down the road, I can, and I can beef it up even more, as well as an M.2 SSD card slot on the motherboard. Speaking of, I do have the Western Digital M.2 SSD, which I use to load, of course, Windows and some of the games that I play more often than not, so that way I get those lightning fast loading time. Aside from that, the brain in this PC is the Intel Core i7-8700K, overclocked to 4.9 gigahertz on all 6 cores. I chose to go with this CPU because down the line I may want to get into editing and Premiere, and this CPU can definitely handle any editing that I throw at it. Also, I'm running the 850 watt G2 power supply from EVGA, being that it's fully modular, so that way I could use different cable mods, and it'll be more than enough going forward if I decide to upgrade my GPU down the line. And for mass storage, I chose to go with the 2TB Seagate hard drive for games that I don't play as much, or just for general storage. For RAM, I did go with the Corsair Vengeance DDR4 RAM, 16 gigs. For the CPU cooler, I decided to go with the CryoRig H7. It's able to keep the CPU at very cool temperatures even while being overclocked. And of course, housing everything is the NZXT H440 case in all white with black accents. Now that we got most of the components out of the way for this PC build, let's talk about some of the concerns that people have when building their first PC. First and foremost, it's too expensive. Now, by no means is this an inexpensive build. This isn't a budget build. So I decided to spend around $1,700 on this PC, and it's because I wanted to game at ultra settings in 1440p. Now, the beauty of building a PC is that you can pretty much spend however much you want to spend. I've seen builds at $300 claiming to be PS4 Pro killers, able to play ultra settings on most games in 1080p. Now, let's not get this confused. The Xbox One X, in my opinion, is the best way to game in 4K for the least amount of money. But one thing to consider when it comes to PC gaming is the fact that most of the games are really inexpensive. Most of the time I'll shop on G2A. I got Wolfenstein for 22 bucks. I got Rust for 10 bucks. I got The Division for 20 something bucks. All these games I'm able to get for way cheaper cost versus paying 60 bucks a pop at your local GameStop and then turning around and trying to trade that game in and getting 60 cents for it. So in the long haul, when it comes to buying games, I believe that price gap will definitely lower, because people buy these games and they spend hundreds of dollars on these collector's editions where they can get that same content for much cheaper on PC. So to answer your question of it being too expensive, it depends on what you want from your PC. You can definitely go the low end route and pay 300 bucks and get a great PC that's going to game in 1080p. But if you want to have a PC that's going to be more future proof and game at higher resolutions and in higher settings, then you're going to want to put some more money into it. The fact that PCs are modular goes a long way. When they release an Xbox One X2 and it's able to game at higher frames per second, it's a bit stronger, more powerful, I'll still be able to add a GPU to this machine, but you can't add a GPU to your current gen Xbox One. The fact that I can tweak my settings to get more out of my machine, that I can switch some components around, that I can overclock my CPU, I can overclock my GPU, goes a long way when it comes to gaming the way I want to game. This is a customized experience for you as a gamer. The other concern that most people have, I'm gonna break it. I'm gonna waste my money on this machine and not put it together the right way. Now, of course, when you're taking on any task, you definitely need to do your research and figure out how to build it before you decide to buy all the components and dump some money into something that you're not too sure about building. For me, I watched tons of videos, went to PCPartPicker, made sure all my parts were compatible, made sure that it had good benchmarks, made sure that this was the build for me that I wanted to make. Then I decided how much I want to spend on this build, and I tweaked it to that budget. And when it comes to putting the PC together, it is truly very simple. It's really like putting together Lego. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. It doesn't go there. And if you're watching a how-to guide, which I'll link down below from TechSource, you'll definitely be able to put it together without any worries. He goes through everything step by step. And those are the two really biggest concerns, the money and putting it together. There are other options out there as well if you want to bypass the concern of building your own PC, and that is getting one made by companies like NZXT or Main Gear. There are other companies always cropping up that are willing to build your PC for you, but that does come at an extra cost. The most cost-efficient option for getting your PC built for you is Let's Build from NZXT. With that process, you're actually able to pick the game that you want to play and the FPS that you want to play at. And it'll actually tweak a build for you, and you can customize different components to your liking and adjust it based on your budget. And the beauty of that process is the fact that they only charge $100 to build your PC. In some of the lower end budget builds, it's actually closer to you actually buying the parts on your own versus them building it for you and sourcing the part. When you get to some of the more high-end enthusiast builds, that gap does become a lot bigger. Like for this build, it would have cost me about $2,200 for them to build this for me, but I was able to spend only $1,700 and build it myself. And picking the name for this PC was more than fun. I actually went on Instagram stories, Facebook, Twitter, and also my squad on PSN. So here are the votes in ascending order. Tundra came in at 4th place with 43 votes. Winterfell came in 3rd place with 46 votes. Stormtrooper came in 2nd place with 50 votes. And of course, Zordon came in at 1st place with 55 votes. In conclusion, I am very happy with my decision to build my own PC versus having someone else build it for me. And I would definitely recommend, if you're planning on doing this or if you're thinking about getting into PC gaming, to just get in there and do it yourself, because it's something that's a bit more rewarding when you go to turn it on and it's working the way you want it to, and you can say that you built that machine from scratch. But if you guys like this video, feel free to hit that thumbs up. If you have any questions down below that maybe I didn't answer, feel free to ask them. I'm an open book. I will be happy to answer any questions that you may have about this PC or about building a PC in general. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, feel free to hit that subscribe button and stick around for a while. But that's about it from me, guys. It's been a pleasure. Until next time, peace.